are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me. Oh. My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and then end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
But I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Tiki Live, Podchaser, Rumble, Spreaker, and more. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kanye talk at all, or formerly known, or what the heck ever. Instead, this is a show that encourages you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics and guests to that end for the last 590 consecutive weeks on the air, on camera. This is show number 1002. I'm so grateful that this is my first gratitude for my breakfast with me, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So grateful that all those who said this show would not last because I did not rant and rave. Although I rant about choosing happiness, but I don't gossip, scandal, tearing people down. And they said that wouldn't be interesting enough. And I'm so grateful to all of you, that's two, for continuing to tune in. Now, later, I'm now getting to live stream, or love stream, as I like to say, LinkedIn, Facebook, and my Home Central YouTube channel, where if you free subscribe, you'll help me with the numbers. And unfortunately, numbers do matter when it comes to attracting sponsors. I'm grateful for the sponsors that I have. That's three. Always looking for more people to support, because money energy does help. So if you would like to be a show sponsor for Dr. Marissa and this show about hope and happiness, just let me know. Go to drmarissa.life. Very affordable. $100 will get you a spot, social spots, etc. And I love the fact that I do get a lot of positive things. I'm known for hope and happiness, and what could be better than that? That's four things that I'm grateful for. You're listening to Breakfast with Dr. Marissa, a little discipline I started a year ago to just to start your day exercising that positive, feel good gratitude exercise. 5, I'm grateful for my sound engineer. It doesn't seem like new anymore. He's got the button down, Frank, and he definitely is one of the most important parts of making this show happen. So thank you, Frank, for being a great new sound engineer. 6, I am grateful that the storm is over. We had quite the hurricane watch yesterday, and it almost seemed like Y2K, because it's coming. It's like, where is it? And I'm bracing, and then it did get here. I missed watching Les Mis, but I was sternly told by those who love me that driving up to Hollywood from Long Beach in that weather yesterday was not the smartest move. Hopefully I can get them as a new show sponsor at the Pandages, and I'm sure I'll be there again. It's a brilliant musical if you haven't seen it. I saw it once years ago, and I was covering an event in Hollywood, the Independent Music Awards, and the Pantages was just around the corner. And one of the benefits of being single is single discount tickets are available at the box office. So a little commercial for them. Hopefully that means I get some tickets for Asian Oprah giveaways. Speaking of which, I'm grateful that I have tickets to give away to my nephew, my honorary god nephew or something like that. Trace Austin's going to be at the Troubadour this Thursday. And I do have a pair of tickets for the first person to go to It's a second pair of tickets, actually. I gave a pair away Friday. Go to drmarissa.life and put Trace. He is the grandson of Otis Williams, the founder of the Temptations, and he will be there as well, rooting on his grandson. So that's 8 specific gratitudes, top of the bun. Going to go to the bottom of the bun now. Oh, and Frank added one. Yay! I forgot to ask you to play along, and you did anyways. He's grateful that his garage didn't flood. Yes. I guess there's a lot of water everywhere. I see debris like crazy. Let's see if we can show you on the beach there. So you can see that line is normally not quite that dirty, but a lot of debris from the storm, which is expected. But I know that there was a lot of preparation. So the good news is we did well in preparing and there wasn't too much damage, at least down here in Long Beach. All right. We're going to the bottom of the bun. Top of the bun is in the morning. Gratitude, spoonful of gratitude makes any bitter part of life go down. And then the bottom of the bun is appreciation, which you do before you go to sleep. Now, I'm going to model this for you now. I'm not going back to sleep. Hope you are not as well, because you only get this hour one time, no do-over. So I want you to make the most of it by exercising your ability to like yourself. And it is Mental Health Monday. And I want Mental Health Mondays to give you tools on how to manage stress. Today's topic is back to school stress. I do have a great interview with Tucker Perkins, the president of the Propane Council, about our school buses as we prepare to go back to school. That'll be after our breakfast sandwich. But I also wanted to use Mental Health Monday to give you some tips from my 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are, chock full of happy 88 tools on how to manage your stress when it comes to going back to school, when it comes to changes that come all the time in life, how to navigate change so that you still can choose happiness no matter what. So that's our topic for today. But one of the key ways to manage your stress is to approve of yourself. And that's not an easy thing, especially if you're a colorful woman, a woman of color. Women are also infamous for not taking compliments very well. We're very self-critical. We think that we're not as beautiful, not as smart, not as attractive or thin. We think we're fat when we're not. And that criticism can erode our mental health, specifically because we start looking for love in all the wrong places. And if we don't get a compliment, we bemoan the fact that we don't. And if we get a compliment, it's very difficult to take. We, excuse it away. Nice outfit. Oh, I got it at the thrift store. Nobody needs to know that. You can pretend or not pretend. You can walk like it was from Bloomingdale's, and you can celebrate the fact that you saved digits on the purchase. So that your hair, it's not, you don't have to say your hair's dirty when it's when someone compliments your do. So that is what we practice. Now, men, I'm not saying that men are not immune to self-criticism, but it does seem that men aren't as affected by that self-critic as much, at least on the outside, as women, because most men, not all, but most men think they are better looking, more buff, and have more hair than they actually do. And that's part of my Happy 88 tool called Have a Guy Day. Now, Frank, that was not an insult to you, and maybe you don't follow that, but I just need to point out that I have proof every time of that Have a Guy Day need, because if you go to the gym and a woman walks in front of that mirror, most of the time they look and they look down and walk away quite quickly. Men, on the other hand, most men, not all men, will catch themselves in the mirror at the gym, stop, and flex and pose. So if that doesn't prove the need for have a guy day, I don't know what does. So that is why, specifically for women, we do the bottom of the bun. So we need to appreciate ourselves a little more. So the practice is right now, I appreciate that I can help people, and that I get a lot of wonderful feedback because I do it in the public. And for that, I appreciate my ability to do that. I appreciate my ability to laugh out loud, laugh at myself, pat myself on the back, soothe myself. I'm a self-contained self-approval. I appreciate my ability to, I don't know if I do this very well, but I'm better than I used to, as far as being a little more vulnerable, although it is definitely my Achilles heel, because I still have that BS sometimes, that belief system that I can go live on a desert island and F you and the horse that you drove in on. But I am getting better at that. And then finally, I appreciate, unless Frank, you want to pop in on appreciation, I appreciate that I have the ability to never give up. You know, there's been quite a few times where doing this show is not the most easiest thing in the world, but to make it 1,002 shows, I am appreciative of my resilience. So there you go. That's the bottom of the bun. That is something that I'd like you to do at the end of the day, instead of thinking about who done you wrong and who is insulting you, or the things that you didn't get done, or that critic, if you did blow up at somebody by accident, that record that plays, you shouldn't have done that, you should, and you're shooting on yourself. I hope that you know that if you can approve of yourself, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect other people to approve of yourself? And that is it for Breakfast with Dr. Marissa, your morning exercise, your morning blisscipline to start your day in the most positive way. And it is time to, let's see, should I share the screen or should I try to pop up the video? Let's see if we can pop up the video. Is it going to let me do it? There's the Tucker interview. There we go.
My advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. Good morning.
Let me give you a little introduction first. Tucker comes on the air with me every year, and he is the president of the Propane Council. And I am going to read a little bio of him because I honestly did not myself know how, let's see, that's not it, how accomplished he was and how long he's been doing this. So let's see if I can find the bio quickly. There it is. And my trusty ageless glasses. He's the president, and Tucker Perkins is the president and chief executive officer for the Propane Education and Research Council, a position he's held since 2017. I think he's been back with me at least 3 years. Since coming to PERC in 2012, Perkins has served as its chief business development officer and most recently its CEO. He previously was a member of the PERC Advisory Committee and chaired the panel on engine fuel. He has extensive experience in the propane industry, including operating his own propane retail company in Virginia, Premier Propane, as well as holding executive positions in Energy, Propane, and Columbia Propane. He holds a BS, a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineer from Virginia Tech, and an MBA from the University of Richmond. He and his wife, Liz, reside in Richmond, Virginia, and bringing you back to school tips about propane is is Monday. Tucker Perkins. Enjoy the interview.
And you're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KZAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind, and home to the Asian Oprah. And you know, every year I have a very special guest talk about getting ready for school. And I know you're groaning right now. We're still in August, but it's never too late to talk about preparation. You're going to start to see school buses hitting the streets in your neighborhood. And for many districts, the ride to school has never been better, thanks to clean and affordable energy options. Here again to discuss how we can make the ride to school the best it can be is Tucker Perkins, President and CEO of the Propane Education and Research Council. Welcome back to my show, Tucker.
Oh, it is just wonderful to be back with you. I've been looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you. And me as well. So, question for you. How important is it that our school districts invest in clean school buses?
Well, it's the most important thing they could do, right? It's time for us to move away from diesel buses that we rode as children, that we think of as they pull away from that stop and their cloud of black smoke engulfs us and the children. It's time to leave that, make this diesel's last decade and move to a modern fuel like propane. And by having our children ride to school in a propane powered school bus.
That's absolutely wonderful. Now, if we rode in a propane bus, would we notice a difference compared to the diesel buses we remember, besides that big plume of black smoke that was, smelled as bad as it looked?
Yeah, I think immediately you would notice two things. The first is as you stepped on the bus smells good. It smells clean. It smells modern. It doesn't reek of that diesel smell. As the bus driver leaves the bus stop, the next thing you would notice is that you can hear. You can hear your friend talking to you. You could talk to the driver. The driver can talk to you. The driver can hear your conversations. Those are the things you notice. I would say beyond that, what teachers tell us is they notice that you rode to school in a quieter bus. They notice that you came to school calmer, ready to learn. They notice that you came to school more often because you weren't sick at home with asthma or bronchitis. And so they notice a few other things, but to answer your question, you'd notice that it's clean and smells good and that it's quiet.
Those are really good points. Beyond the benefits to students, are the buses better for the environment?
Much better for the environment. Inside that cloud of black smoke, which is not only harmful to children, it's harmful to adults, it's harmful to the earth, contains particulate matter and NOx emissions and things that we don't want to have here. And when we move to propane, particulate matter is gone. It's a known carcinogen. The NOx emissions are cut 97% in many cases. Better for better for the health of our planet. And also, finally, reduce greenhouse gases, so better for our climate.
Those are a lot of betters. What are the benefits to the school district itself?
Well, the main benefit to the school system is that these buses cost less. They cost about the same to buy as a diesel bus, but they cost half that to operate of a diesel bus. And
really,
if we could take all of these diesel buses and have them operate on propane, we'd save enough money to put 23,000 teachers into the classroom. And as I travel around and tell this story, fleets that have already made this choice talk about hiring more teachers, talk about buying more computers, fixing the leak in the roof, buying the band better instruments or the football team better helmets. It's really rewarding to hear how schools that have made the switch to propane buses make these savings pay off for better student instruction. So that's the real win for a school system, is that in making this better choice, they still save money.
That's great, because normally improvements these days don't necessarily claim that they can be less. So that's great. That's great. So it's a no-brainer. Are there ways that schools can pay for cleaner buses?
Yeah, the government has now seen the wisdom of migrating from diesel to propane. They've created a fund of $5 billion just for student transportation, just to get rid of dirty diesel and to allow schools to step easily into propane. So that $5 billion fund will go a long way into accelerating propane-powered school buses.
Great. I'm sure many parents at home are thinking that they want propane buses for their kids. What can parents do to make that happen?
Yeah, we want parents involved. We want them talking to their children and then talking to the school board, fleet managers. Created a website for them called betterourbuses.com. They can go and first learn the facts, learn why propane is better than diesel, learn how propane competes favorably even with battery electric vehicles, to learn what to say and where to say it and how to engage to see that their children do get a clean, safe, healthy ride to school.
Great. Now, how and where do we go for more information?
We want parents to start at betterourbuses.com. It's where they can learn what they need to know and then begin to act to help their children get a better ride to school.
Great. Betterourbuses.com is where you want to go right now, so that you can be part of the solution to bring propane to our school buses. Thank you, Tucker. It's always nice to have you on the show. Wish you the best year ever. And one more time, the website?
It would be betterourbuses.com. And I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow.
Thank you. I will. Always a pleasure. Have the best day ever.
And I hope you enjoyed that yearly annual back to school indication with an interview with Tucker Perkins. He's the president of the Propane Council. That's who you've been listening to. If you're a parent and your school district or your school offers school buses and they are not propane, there is a budget, as you heard, betterbuses.com. You can go and lobby and certainly get the black smoke out of your school system. That's your public service interview for today. It is Monday, and it's a mental health Monday. I do like Mondays. I know most people don't. I actually had a series during COVID called Monday's the New Friday. Did not go over very well. I was not able to invite enough people to drink that Kool-Aid, but I do have enough people who are tuning in for Mondays because we do a Monday movie review. We do mental health Mondays, and that is the latter one is today. So I am going through some stress management tools for anyone that's going back to school. Now, I have had messages from moms who are preparing frantically to get things in order for back to school. And there's a certain amount of stress, especially if you are a working mom, a career mom who wants to do everything, thinks that she can do everything. And the added stress of more to do now, certainly. I have had messages from students who are going back to school who really don't want to go back to school because they enjoyed the freedom of summer. I have new college students going back to school that are also stressed about that change. And certainly teachers and all those who've had the nice summer off who need to go back and face, teaching with always not enough budget, or all of the challenges that have come with even, hashtag BC19, the time before COVID, where there's, changes in the classroom, changes in budget, changes in all of that, as well now with still returning from the effects of COVID. So that's a lot of stress. And even though you might have been feeling good, and now that I've talked you into feeling some of that stress, I do have some solution. It is the second part of the show. Those of you who don't already know, if you're tuned in and I see eyeballs, welcome to the studio. If you'd like to ask me a particular question about your situation, specific on how to manage the stress of some new change in your life, then please do put that in the comment section. This is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on NBC News Radio, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind, and love streaming here on Facebook, YouTube, my central place, and also LinkedIn. So I am going to give you some tools, and I call them alphabet soup. Now, alphabet soup is letters that remind you how to soothe yourself out of stress. And those of you who have been with me a while, you know that I do rattle these off. I'll try to go a little slowly, because I think the foundation to good mental health, to manage, is managing your own stress, soothing yourself, self-care, and self-approval. That's why we do the gratitude sandwich. Why do I believe this is true? I believe we have an epidemic right now. The good news is we are looking at mental health. It's the stigma of having mental illness is less than it was before. The bad news is there's a habit, a knee-jerk reaction when you don't like how you feel, to look for something to make that feeling go away instantly from outside of yourself. And one of the first things we do when we don't like how we feel is we say, I want to feel better, so I will go, and these are very common things. So let's say someone just says something or does something to me and it pisses me off. Someone tells me that I have to do something I don't want to do. Something unfair happens to me, or I'm going back to school, or some change that happens external to me and I don't like it. So if you've had this happen to you, if you haven't had this happen to you, then I'm talking to dead people, because everybody as a human being has things said, done, experience that they're not thrilled about. So I'm not saying that back to school is a bad thing, but I do know that most of the time, just like Mondays, there is a slightly to very negative reaction to those things. So what do I say to myself when, let's go with that first example. Someone says something to me or does something to me that I don't like, okay? Or let's say you're going to a new situation and you meet someone that doesn't treat you well, or whatever that change is that you're not thrilled about and you don't feel good about. So the tendency is, if it's something that you cannot change, is to, you don't want to feel this way, so you soothe yourself by picking up the phone or texting and talking to someone, and you're not going to believe what someone did to me. Now, I'm going to say that if you don't do that, it's not necessarily a good thing. I think it's very important when things happen that you're not thrilled about or not comfortable with to have one, maximum two people or times that you fully express how you feel. So that may, law of attraction, I am a law of attraction coach, and there is that you should never deal with it at all. And I have found that usually if I don't deal with it, I'm shoving it down and not dealing with it at all. And for me, that, press down gets infected. It's like garbage, right? You press down on garbage with the disposal, arm in a truck, and it turns into liquid if you pressurize things enough. And then if you really pressurize it, it turns into gas. And what happens when you do not allow yourself to feel the anger, upset, frustration, aggravation, just for a little bit, less than 16 seconds, because what you focus on grows bigger. So I will, as a tool, get it out by stomping my feet, biting my pillow, screaming, although I have to protect my voice. So I do the silent scream that I taught my kids. And it looks like this. If you're watching, if you're driving your car on the way to work now, do not look at the screen, but look at it after. But a silent scream is just literally screaming without the voice. Ready? It's not attractive, but it is effective. So you want to release that. And then you go to the alphabet soup. And one of the most effective Happy 88 tools from my alphabet soup is TTSP. TTSP. What does it stand for? This too shall pass. Now, people who are 12-step program uses this a lot. This too shall pass. It works because it allows you to diffuse whatever feeling you're having. Now, one of the things about depression, one of the things about anxiety, one of the things about self-loathing, one of the things about externalized anger, hatred, hostility is we allow ourselves to believe that we are powerless over our feelings. Our feelings take over and we become our feelings. Another way that I say it is, I am drama, therefore I am. And that's bullshitaki. Feelings just are. We are not our feelings. We have feelings, but we are not our feelings. I can be angry, but I am not an angry person. Right now, there are people who are angry people, and the name Karen, unfortunately, has now been abdicated as an example of an angry woman. So we call angry women Karens, which isn't very fair to Karen, but we now label people that's an angry woman. Now, that may be a habit that woman has. So, you know me, I'm a little Pollyanna. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. That's another alphabet soup, BOD, giving people the benefit of the doubt. Benefit of doubt. I added a the in there. So we are not our feelings. And the reason why this is important to distinguish is when we are in our feelings, that is the time when we're uncomfortable and we reach for food, shopping, gambling, swearing, insulting, gossiping, drugs, alcohol, smoking, 420, you name it. We want to feel better, which is a good thing. The desire to feel better is a good thing. But the desire to feel better using something external to yourself has led us to an epidemic of drug addiction, prescription drug addiction. And I have to be careful. I'm not going to war on the pharmaceutical industry, but I will say that it has capitalized on our laziness, on not learning how to soothe ourselves out of the feelings that we are experiencing, because we've identified ourselves with that feeling. We think we don't have a choice about how to feel. Wow. We don't have a choice. That's the BS, the belief system that so many of us have taken for granted now, thinking, you make me feel this way. You did that. I feel mad. It's your fault. That is what we've grown up with. We have parents, well-meaning parents, who say, if you did this, I would be happy. And that's bullshit talkie. Yes, people can step on our foot, and we can blame them for stepping on our foot. But usually people don't step on your foot on purpose. And even if they did step on your foot on purpose, it's not going to hurt forever. It hurts. You say, ouch. You say, please don't step on my foot. And then you have a choice to continue to say that person is an ashhole. I did not say that word. It's ASH. You have a choice to see that person as someone who is continually stepping on your foot and they are to blame and they make you angry. Or you can say, give them the BO date. They did it by accident. Ouch, that hurts. And you walk away. You don't keep putting your foot nearby if that person is known as a footstepper honor. But that person is doing that. Even angry people, right? They're not 100% all the time angry. They may have a habit of being angry, but it's your job to say, do I want to stand near someone who has a habit of being angry? That's up to me. And it is my choice whether to react every time. So I have to learn how to realize in the heat of the moment that I am not my anger. I am feeling anger and I can express my anger safely. I hate apologizing. So I choose to walk away. I choose to go, I'll be back when I'm feeling a little more balanced. That's how I manage my anger, my stress, my displeasure at what is going on. TTPS, this too shall pass. And that same tool works when I'm having a feeling of fear. So I have clients, I have friends, I have people who come to me and say, I am stressed because I am afraid of what's going to happen. Sound familiar? So if you're afraid of something new, now that's a normal reaction, especially if you have a habit of looking at worst case scenario. I've had clients who come to me and say, I am a worry wart. And I say, no, you are not a worry wart, but you have a habit that soothes you of worrying. My dad, my Chinese dad, he's in heaven now. He's not a worry wart anymore, but he would say always hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. But he would not really hope for the best. He skipped right to prepare for the worst. So if you are afraid of a situation that you're going into, new school, new job, new back to school teachers, new challenges at work, putting work and school together, new classroom, whatever the new thing is. A little bit of fear or nervousness is normal and natural, but that is not who you are. You are not a worrywart. You have picked up a habit to be a wee bit uncomfortable with something new. So here's fear. Fear stands for future events already ruined. Future events already ruined. Does your fear serve you? Does worry really help you adjust to a new situation? And that answer is no. Absolutely not. Now, a little bit of fear, a little bit of nervousness, try to tap into the opposite, which is excitement, right? Something new. Whenever I work with people who go into new situations, let's say go to college, let's say go to a new high school, let's say whatever that new chapter of your life is, then embrace that chapter, right? With looking at best case scenario. That's BCS, best case scenario, another alphabet soup. Best case scenario is a way to train yourself to go with the most positive outlook. And there's a tool that Abraham Hicks offers in the Law of Attraction. Vortex is a great book. Ask and it is given. It's free audio on YouTube. Go and listen to that while you're in the car. So what the game is, wouldn't it be nice if? Wouldn't it be nice if? And if I were working with someone who's going to a new place or a new opportunity, a new university, I would actually use this game and say, wouldn't it be nice if, and then have that person fill in the blank. And you can do this with your kids that are nervous about a new school, about a new job, whatever it is. Wouldn't it be nice if, and I did this with my daughter when she graduated at UC Davis, wouldn't it be nice if I got a job that, so it wouldn't it be nice if, and I did this before they went to school, wouldn't it be nice if this university had really great teachers that I could understand and get excited about what I was learning? Wouldn't it be nice if I got roommates that I really enjoyed? Wouldn't it be nice if I had a lot of clubs available for me to have fun there? Wouldn't it be nice if there was a Starbucks nearby campus? Wouldn't it be nice if we train ourselves in new situations to look for the good? FTG is another alphabet. Find the good. You're training yourself to purposely go out and find what is good instead of preparing for the worst case scenario and being afraid of something new. When we choose to look for something that's good, then we're less apt to be stressed, because stress is just focusing on worst case scenario. And there's another wonderful thing that I remember whenever someone says I'm stressed is stress, worry, fear, anxiety are all in the Native American culture. There's a saying that says worry is a prayer for bad things to happen. Let me say that again. Worry is a prayer for bad things to happen. So why in the world would you worry? Why would you go there? Why would you wait for the other shoe to drop? Why would you hold your breath? It isn't a tool that's you're not going to have a great life, because no matter what good happens, you're waiting for worst case scenario. You are choosing paranoia. So let me give you another option if you are someone who does have a tendency to do that. First of all, if you do that, don't beat yourself up for it. Oftentimes, the reason why we hold our breath or we go to worst case scenario is we're probably one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma. And when you've had bad things happen, what we learn is to protect ourselves. It's a coping mechanism. So give yourself some slack. If that's what you do, you learn to do that to protect yourself. And even if you've had no trauma, there is a tendency to see change as negative. Why? It is a survival mechanism. When we were cave people, when we went into a new situation, when something changed, we were on alert because most of the time that change was a woolly mammoth charging at us, gonna take us out. So when we went into new situations, you definitely have an antenna up looking for worst case scenario. So it is, even if you're not one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma, you probably are the 3 out of 10 who still is human. And to human is to look for negative things. However, it's been a long time since woolly mammoths have killed us or attempted to kill us off. And unless you're living somewhere where there's a lot of bears and a lot of coyotes or not hyenas, all those real threats that come with dangerous situations, most of us don't live like that, right? Most of us live in a pretty cool place with running water and no woolly mammoths. And so it doesn't serve us to be afraid of new situations. So FTG, find the good in the new situation. So we've done TTPS, this too shall pass. FTG, find the good. Okay. Don't go to worst case scenario. Don't be paranoid. Instead, pronoia, it's not really alphabet soup, but it is a term that I love. Pronoia is the opposite of paranoia. Now, pronoia doesn't come naturally. You have to work at using FTG, Happy 88 tool, to choose to look at what is good. You choose to look at best case scenario. You believe. Einstein says the most important question that a human being has to answer is the universe friendly or not? If you say the universe is not friendly, you will hold your breath. You will wait for the other shoe to drop, and it is a surety way to live. Trust me, I did it for decades. So the stress management tool here is pronoia. What is the best case scenario? Wouldn't it be nice if? Another tool from the Abraham Hicks toolkit. All right. So another alphabet soup. INTBOAD. INTBOAD. When you walk into a situation that's new and something negative happens, you take a breath through your nose. You release soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Another deep breath in. And releasing all the stories and the drama, activating the mind. This is 3-breath technology with Dr. Marissa. And the last breath in, connecting through chi, eternal energy, and you hold the hand of the power out there that creates the beauty on the in the world, on the planet, including yourself. And at that point, you can say, it's not that big of a deal. INTBOAD. Because really, folks, if someone insults you, and I'm talking to myself right now, it's not that big of a deal. So someone doesn't like you. So a group of people don't like you. So someone says something negative to you on your social. Who cares? The short form of INTBOAD is who cares? I say that a lot. Now that sounds callous and sarcastic, and yes, it is something that jolts me into INTBOAD, because really in the large picture of life, is it that big of a deal? Is this change or whatever you're going through? Yeah, so you got to go shopping for back to school stuff. You're going to let that ruin your day so you have one negative interaction with the teacher? Are you going to throw away the entire experience of school for that reason? There are budget cuts. Yes, it is something you cannot control. Are you going to let that ruin the entire experience of these new little kidlets or whoever you're teaching? I was a professor at UCLA in the MBA school. I let some of those students rob me of the entire positive experience of being able to teach. I loved getting up. I loved the compliments that I got about standing up and being Robin Williams in what's that movie where he, oh gosh, I've lost it. But anyways, I love teaching, but I let one negative review from I don't even know what I want to call him, but he said, I would rather chew glass than listen to another one of Dr. Pei's lectures. And that hurt. That was horrible. It was something that really was not nice. But did I take into account that I had 99 other compliments from my MBA students there that really appreciate it? I still have students who are on my LinkedIn that tell me how wonderful they remember my classes. So it's up to you, folks. You can choose your alphabet soup wisely. I hope I've given you enough today for your Mental Health Monday stress relief busters. And my Asian Oprah giveaway, in addition to tickets to the Troubadour this Thursday. I'll meet you there to see Trace Austin, my honorary nephew. I'm also giving an audiobook copy away of this. Go to drmarissa.life and you will get an audiobook copy if you say Mental Health Monday. All right. These are all my coaching. This is not therapy, just for those who are, I'm not a clinical psychologist by choice. I'm an organizational psychologist, but I do coach. I do happiness coaching, and I know how these alphabet soup things work because it works on myself. So hopefully you've learned something today. Get that audio book. I'm so happy that you are here listening to me, tuning in to take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. See you tomorrow.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy.